Norman residents squabble over the new aquatic center. The governor approves emergency money for schools while Oklahoma City eliminates jobs for teachers. March Madness rages on and our sports team is with the Sooners in California, 2 hours away from the tip-off in the Sweet 16. Nightly starts now. Now that Norman Ford is a go, projects are starting.
But some community disagreement might halt one project's progress. OU Nightly's Anna Whitney has more.
Norman's new family aquatic center is receiving copious amounts of criticism and opinions. Residents just can't seem to find a compromise between competition lanes for racers or recreational and fitness opportunities for seniors.
On this, they're going to spend a lot of money on the senior center. Then there's going to be nothing left for our indoor facility.
Trumbull is the mother of a competition swimmer and wants to see a competition-ready pool for the racing community. But Norman's senior community prefers a recreational and fitness pool.
That's really important to us, yes, so we can come and exercise in a way that we can exercise.
Norman residents can still vote on what they think should be the most important features of the pool at www.normanok.gov under the Parks and Recreation tab. Anna Whitney, OU Nightly.
The multi-million-dollar aquatic center is still in the conceptual phase of designs. Current concepts include a bathhouse, lazy river, competition lanes, and a diving area. All amenities are based on polling of residents and what they want to have at the center. And if the community can't come to an agreement, the center might not be open by the summer of 2017. There is another public meeting this evening at 6:30 at the Norman City Council Hall.
With a $1.3 billion state deficit, the state government is facing major budget cuts. But Governor Mary Fallin has taken steps to bring some relief to two money-starved agencies. Fallin signed two emergency funding measures that will infuse cash into the Departments of Education and Corrections. She drew the money, more than $78 million, from the state's Rainy Day Fund. $51 million will go to common education and $27 million will go to corrections. Fallin said the Rainy Day Fund is a one-time fix and that legislatures need to produce a new budget with much-needed fiscal reform.
But that education money is too little too late for some teachers in Oklahoma City. The OKC School Board has approved eliminating 208 teaching positions. The move to cut nearly 8% of the district's teachers will save $8 million, but it will result in larger class sizes. District Superintendent Rob New says the increase in class size isn't good for students.
Did you smell that this morning? Many in central Oklahoma did as strong south wind that was driving a major grass fire switched and came from the north. The fire started in north central Oklahoma and burned its way into southern Kansas, where the governor has declared a state of emergency. So far, the flames have charged more than 625 square miles, an area about half the size of the state of Rhode Island. People in Burton, Kansas and several other towns have evacuated their homes. Forecasters say winds in the area are expected to drop through the rest of the day. It's hoped that will help more than 400 weary firefighters bring the blaze under control. Now, Grant, is that true? Can we expect to see some lower winds, hopefully calming this fire down, getting under control?
That's right. Through the overnight, we'll finally start to see some relief from these winds. But right now across the state, in the teens mostly, and then as they die overnight, we'll see them ramp right back up again tomorrow. 53 is what we're sitting at right now in Norman. Those dry conditions are not helping those fires at all, 44% here. But what I'll have for you in Maine weather, about how long these winds will continue, a warmer Saturday in the forecast, and a cooler Sunday with a chance for rain. All more on that later. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Grant. The atmosphere in Brussels ratcheted down a notch today as Belgian officials slightly lowered the country's alert status. Investigators still are looking for additional suspects, but the city is beginning to calm down. Meanwhile, fallout from the terrorist attack continues. And as Nightly's Annie Durbin shows us, ripples reach all the way to OU's study abroad program.
There are still many Americans unaccounted for after the Brussels attacks. However, we do know that an OU student who was traveling abroad in Brussels is safe.
We do have one student that was in Brussels. That student was immediately contacted in the middle of the night and responded within a matter of minutes. So we found out very quickly that the student was fine, and we continue to communicate with that student as well.
But while current OU students abroad this week have literally dodged a bullet, the semester isn't over and many students already have summer foreign plans. The State Department recently sent a travel alert to Europe warning U.S. citizens of the potential risks throughout Europe, specifically visiting sporting events, tourist sites, restaurants, and transportation. The Study Abroad program says it is regularly staying in contact with the students about this issue.
We are communicating even more than usual with our students, checking in with them, which we again do on a regular basis, but just wanting to let them know that we're thinking of them, providing them resources, and letting them know that OU cares.
But Knightley has spoken to several OU students who won't be changing their travel plans.
I've always traveled, and so I think for me, I think my parents are a little bit more worried, but I personally am not really more worried about going to Italy.
Despite the concerns, OU plans to continue the Study Abroad program with student safety being their first priority. Annie Durbin, OU Knightley.
And the travel alert is set to expire on June 20th. And we have even more on the attacks in Belgium from Joseph Quinton in the News Center. Joseph?
Thanks, Joseph. OU Knightley followed the Sooners to Anaheim for the Sweet 16. Ashley Davis explains how even though the Sooners are excited to play, they still have more to play for.
Very happy to be facing off against Texas A&M just 2 short hours from now in the Sweet 16 battle, but we'll be doing so with heavy hearts. Teammate and center Colden Manyang will not be on the floor of the Honda Center tonight after his brother died last week. He returned home to Minnesota and will not be playing with his team.
I know it's sad story happened to his brother, but it fueled us in our VCU game. We're playing for him, and to make sure that we're still family and we are there just thinking about him, and we're trying to stay alive until he gets back in this tournament so he can help us out.
There's more important things in life than basketball, and we realize that, and so just trying to talk to him and make sure we text him every day and let him know that we still care about him.
I'm certainly thinking about him, and his teammates and coaches are in contact with him constantly, but only wish we could do more.
As for tonight's game, stay tuned. Haley Huey has more coming up with sports on how the Sooner players and Coach Kruger are feeling about going into tonight's game.
Thanks, Ashley. Still ahead on OU Knightley, we'll go back to California as that Sweet 16 tip clock counts down.
Plus, we'll show you how OU is getting jazzy for the first time. Stick around. OU's first Jazz Festival kicks off tonight at 6 p.m. The festival will include clinics for high school students, contests, concerts, and will welcome special guest Rob Smith. In the clinics, high school jazz bands will have the chance to compete for awards and work with OU professors. Those bands will also perform on Friday, and all performances are open to the public for free. The gala concert will take place Friday night at 8 p.m., featuring the OU Jazz Ensembles and Rob Smith.
A sort of a frivolous or a light or a passé event. This is a big deal for us and for the school.
The festival will be in the Catlett Music Center in Sharp Hall. Tickets for the gala concert can be bought at the door. And that's not all that's going on in Oklahoma this week. Macy Beheeler has the rest in our Arts and Entertainment Report.
Cinderella will be in Oklahoma City this weekend. The award-winning Broadway musical is a contemporary take on the classic tale. The production features some of Rodgers and Hammerstein's most well-known songs like In My Own Little Corner, Impossible It's Possible, and 10 Minutes Ago. The spectacle is playing at the Civic Center Music Hall through Sunday. Go to okcciviccenter.com for tickets. Fred Jones Museum is giving everyone a chance to experience the cosmos in a unique way. Galileo's World, an artful observation of the cosmos, is an exhibit of artwork inspired by Galileo Galilei's work. You will be able to experience artwork and music tonight at Galileo Live. The Cruise Quartet will be playing music ranging from classical to rock. The event begins at 7. Admission is free. Today is Throwback Thursday, and it seems this day has been a big one in the past for the TV and film business. The Breakfast Club met for detention 32 years ago today. Miley Cyrus sung her first song in 2006, and the Twilight craze began with the release of the first film in 2008.
Wow. Breakfast Club, by far, one of the greatest.
Oh,
One
absolutely.
of the greatest out there. I love that movie. And Miley Cyrus, although she's kind of a little bit, but iconic. It's good to see. It's good to see that we're
definitely.
we're getting her some recognition, more recognition.
Yes, big day for sure.
Thanks, Macy.
Thank you.
No problem.
And there's one more thing you might want to put on your to-do list. Tomorrow evening, the city of Norman will host an Easter egg hunt at Andrews Park. Beginning at 5:30, children 8 and under can eat snow cones, play on inflatable toys, and have their photo taken with the Easter Bunny until the actual egg hunt kicks off.
30, we shoot the horn or whatever, and it's about 3.5 minutes.
Parks and Recreation has also planned to hide golden Easter eggs that may be redeemed for a chocolate Easter Bunny. Parents are encouraged to bring their own Easter baskets and cameras. Still ahead on OU Nightly, Stephen Mudd shows us exactly what to expect from the Sooners tonight.
And we have Joseph Quinton in the news center with the latest updates on Belgium.
Welcome back to Nightly. The search continues in Belgium for the other terrorists involved in the events that transpired last Tuesday. Authorities believe there were 2 more suspects linked to the bombings. One person was believed to be at the scene of the metro, according to one Belgian security source, and there is very grainy video evidence of the person from the airport. Any clues, leads, or witnesses could be critical in stopping potential attacks in Europe in the future.
He this morning asked me to stay explicitly given the situation and the conditions we're in. In a condition of war, we cannot leave the field, and I accepted his request. We will go through this together.
The former Bosnian Serb politician Karadzic will spend 40 years in prison for war crimes that occurred nearly 20 years ago in the Bosnian War. The International War Crimes Tribunal made the decision this morning after a jury found Karadzic guilty of genocide and 9 other charges. One of the charges, Karadzic was responsible for the Srebrenica massacre that killed more than 7,000 Bosnian Muslims. That's what's happening around the world. Now back to the weather with Grant.
Thanks, Joseph. Well, we had another windy day across the Sooner State, but temperatures much cooler than what we saw yesterday. 50s across much of Oklahoma, but compared to yesterday, we're almost 25 degrees cooler than what we were at this time yesterday. But that cool front that kept temperatures cooler has moved its way out east, giving a chance for severe weather through Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, and blizzard warnings and watches through Wisconsin and Michigan. Now, as we watch that move east, this afternoon rather, we're going to see these northerly winds continue, but by tonight, they'll die down, a relief to much of us. However, by tomorrow at 2 p.m., those winds are going to switch from the north to the south, increasing once again, gusting to close to 30 miles per hour across much of the state. A few clouds moving their way in as well. And then by Friday night, we'll see a dry line start to move its way through. Those northerly winds will stay with us once again, increase cloud cover as we go through the overnight. But by Saturday night, we're going to see that dry line switch to a warm front, giving us slightly warmer temperatures for Saturday, but a better chance for rain Saturday night. Then by later Saturday night, we're going to see the increased chance for rain and thunderstorms throughout much of central Oklahoma, but the best chance comes early Saturday morning where a few rumbles of thunder could be mixed in with some heavy rain. And then by Sunday evening, we're going to see that cloud bank move its way out and towards the east. Across Oklahoma tonight, very chilly. Most of the state in the 30s, 37 in Oklahoma City, 38 here in Norman, well below the average for what we're supposed to be at for this time of year. Tomorrow looks pretty nice though. 70s in Norman, 70 in Oklahoma City, 70s out in western Oklahoma, a little cooler in eastern Oklahoma. But as you head out the door tomorrow, a chilly 39, clear though, and then those winds will increase out of the south to around 20 to 25 by 4 p.m. As we take a look at our 7-day, 70 tomorrow, windy once again, but Saturday looks beautiful, a chance for rain and thunderstorms on Sunday, cool, but warming up again after that.
Well, I'm glad that the wind is dying down because it wasn't very pleasant walking around campus today.
No, it sure doesn't make it for a good walk.
And although we may not like the rain, it looks like we sure need it right now.
We sure do, yep.
Awesome, thank you, Grant.
Thank you, Grant. It's a basketball fan's dream tonight, and Stephen Mudd has details about 2 of the state's biggest attractions hitting the hardwood.
That's right, Allie. The Oklahoma City Thunder host the Utah Jazz tonight, and Russell Westbrook hopes to join some elite company. And yes, the Oklahoma Sooners are still dancing and hope to keep dancing into the Elite 8. Sports is around the corner. This is OU Nightly Sports, and I'm Stephen Mudd. The OU men's basketball team is in Anaheim, California today, preparing for their Sweet 16 game against the Texas A&M Aggies. Buddy Buckets and the Sooners are hoping to make the Elite Eight for the first time since 2009. Haley Huey is in Anaheim to catch up with the team to see how they can move past the Sweet 16 this year.
For the Oklahoma Sooner basketball team, this is deja vu all over again. Last year, they made it to the Sweet 16 but fell short to Michigan State. This year, they're using it as motivation to run deeper into the tournament.
Our confidence is high. Last year, we took a loss, and that's just going to give us a lot of motivation and confidence to just finish out the ball game and just come just ready to play like our last.
Like Isaiah said, we know where we were at last year, and now we're just more confident, ready to finish what we had started last year and execute down the stretch and rebound the ball like we should and just go out there, compete, and have no regrets when we leave the court.
Just the feeling we had, I think, was motivating during the spring, summer, fall workouts. I think losing at that point where you are close, but you go home instead. I think that had our guys better focused during the off season.
The Sooners have an experienced team on the court, but they also have an experienced coach on the bench, and he thinks a fast start is the key to tonight.
There's going to be good stretches, poor stretches. Anytime you can have a little margin to play with, in anticipation of that stretch where the other team gets it going, is better. So anytime you get off to a good start, you like doing that.
Tip-off is right after 6:30, and win or lose, we'll be back tomorrow for Big Friday Sports. Haley Huey, OU Nightly Sports.
Thanks, Haley. Robert Griffin III has just ended his career by signing a 2-year deal worth $15 million with the hopeless Cleveland Browns. Griffin will be the 25th quarterback to start for the Browns since the 1999 season, the most in the NFL during that span. However, moving to the other end of the spectrum on quarterbacks, Peyton Manning turned the big 4-0 today. That's right, he is 40. Some of Manning's accolades include most passing touchdowns in a career, most passing yards in a career, most passing touchdowns in a season, did it twice, most passing yards in a season, most MVP awards, and most wins including playoffs, just to name a few. Moving to the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder host the Utah Jazz tonight. Russell Westbrook will look for his 4th consecutive triple-double, but that's not the impressive part. Westbrook has 15 triple-doubles on the season. Most guys don't even have 15 in a career. No one has punt 15 triple-doubles in a season since Magic Johnson did it with 17 in the 1988 and 89 season. It's Throwback Thursday, and you might want to butter up Buddy Buckets because he is on a roll, baby. However, Buddy has been on a roll since high school. In Heald's senior season, he averaged 23 points per game on 49% shooting and 4 rebounds per game. You know, guys, fun fact, Buddy Hield played on the same AAU team as Kansas big man Perry Ellis, and I got to play against them in an AAU game. Fun fact.
And I'm going to guess you posted, like 30, 14, and 2 on him with Buddy guarding you?
Yeah, Coach wouldn't let me shoot them.
All right, thanks, Stephen.
Well, coming up on OU Nightly, an old Beatles record makes noise in the music industry. Stay with us.